YouTube channel, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Please do me a favor and thumbs up this video. Thank you. And while you're at it, subscribe to the channel. Help me reach my random goal of 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, thanks. All right, now let's talk about what we're here to talk about, which is pose, live, work, pose. It is the penultimate episode, y'all. The show is coming to an end. So sad. I feel like it's such a missed opportunity for us to really get into like these characters, but unfortunately because of COVID and because of all the complications of shooting with COVID, this is it. And they've created a really powerful series here and a really powerful work, and I'm glad that it exists and will exist long term for new people to discover and enjoy. And yeah, you know, and hopefully we'll get to see all of these incredibly talented, gorgeous actors and actresses in many other things. I'm excited to see Angel in Panic Room. I'm excited to see the new series coming up with MJ and Maya Rudolph. Hopefully we'll get to see Angel, who plays Poppy in more things, and Ricky and Dominique, who plays Electra. Like, oh, I really hope so, because it's just, they're all so beautiful and so talented, and I've watched multiple interviews with them and they all seem really cool. Hopefully we'll get more from Janet Mock as well. Yeah, if any of y'all are watching this, you've done an amazing job and you should feel really proud, and you know, I wish nothing but the best for all of you. So thank you for your work. But anywho, let's get into the episode. It's called Something Old, Something New. And yeah, it's written and directed by Janet Mock. We love to see it. And yeah, there was definitely some tears going on. There was definitely some sad moments, but there were also some really beautiful, endearing, loving moments, right? It starts out with Praytel. Praytel's at the doctor's office and one of his eyes is completely blacked out. It turns out that he's going blind. Now, y'all remember in the first episode of this season, Cubby was blind. So we've already kind of gotten a clue that this is something that happens to people who are living with AIDS. And not only that, but it's kind of like a signifier that the end is near, right? Because it's caused by an eye infection, and I guess what's happening is that the body is starting to break down and not being able to fight against bacteria, fight against like the regular things that take place in the world, like the immune system has become hella compromised. And so the doctor's like, yeah, this is beginning the end, and it's that same cold doctor from before that told Praytel he only had 6 months to live. And Praytel's like, I'm not buying it, because last time I was here, you told me I had a certain amount of months to live, and here it is months later, and I'm still living. So I'm just going to keep on doing me and keep on doing that. And I heard that because I've heard tons of stories about how doctors have told patients like, oh, you only have this much to live, this many months or years to live, and those people go on to live like for decades. So don't listen to those doctors, Pray. I was feeling him when he said that, because it's like, how you gonna tell somebody how long they have to live? Like, maybe you can estimate, but you can never be sure. Like, you really don't know, because God may have a different plan. Although the trailer from the next episode, which is a finale, is giving me tragic trauma, somebody's gonna die vibes. So I don't know, but either way, Praytel's like, I'm out of here, y'all don't know shit. So then we see Pray and Blanca. They're at Pray's place, and she's looking in the mirror. She's primping and prospering and doing all her cutesy stuff in the mirror, because Pray has made her this dress. He made a special dress for the mother of the bride, and she's looking good, and Pray makes a comment about her getting slim, And there's a couple of moments in this episode where they talk about Blanca being slim or needing to put on weight. And I was kind of like, are these clues of something that's coming up, or is it just like banter? I don't know. There was something there because it came up at least 3 times. But we shall see. We shall see. So they're talking, and Prey's got sunglasses on. And she's like, you have really outdid yourself. Like, this dress is beautiful. Like, you're so good at this. And Prey's like, yeah, well, I didn't just come to New York to escape, like, the homophobia and the violence and the shit that I was dealing with in Pittsburgh. I came to New York because I had fashion design dreams. I wanted my own fashion house. At one point, I thought I would see my dresses on the runways of Paris and Milan. And doesn't look like that's gonna happen now. So, yeah, it is what it is. But that was the original intention. And Blanca's like, Prey, your fashions may not be in Paris and Milan, but your fashions have been loved and adored and cherished by many, okay? Because I know, I'm speaking for myself here, like, that outfit that I wore for the Mother of the Year, you had me feeling like a queen, all right? You are talented, and you are a fashion artist, so you have nothing to, like, really feel regret or disappointed about in terms of, like, your fashion career. And still, anything is possible. You still might be able to. And he's like, I don't think so. I don't know about that. It's getting more and more difficult these days. And she's like, well, maybe if you took those sunglasses off. And he takes the sunglasses off, and she sees that one of his eyes is blacked out. Now, we know that Blanca, from dealing with Cubby and working in the hospital, knew automatically what that meant. And she starts to get all sad. And he's like, don't go there. So they sit on the couch. She's looking at him. And, you know, everybody needs a Blanca in their life. She's such a sweetheart. She's so, like, affirming and loving and everything. And he's like, you've always been my heart, but now I need you to be my eyes. And he pulls out this panel, and it's going to be a piece of fabric that will be his panel for the AIDS quilt. And she's like, this is for people who have, and he's like, yeah, like, this is pretty much it. And I want to make sure that there's something left to remember me by, because right now I really don't have any type of legacy. And she's like, you have your legacy as far as ballroom. Like, you are ballroom. You are part of, like, what makes it so rich and such a beautiful culture. And he's like, I don't think so. I don't think anybody's gonna remember me. I'm kind of played out. And she doesn't believe it. She tries to convince him that's not the case, but he's not buying it. And he's like, listen, I want you to help me finish this panel because I want there to be something tangible for people to, like, look at and know that, like, that's me. And Blanca says, yeah, I understand, you know, because he says, you have your house, you have your kids, but what do I have? And she says, I got you. I got you. So then we go to live, work, pose. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm thinking, oh, this is the second to last time that they're going to do this. Yeah. Regardless of the way people, like, complain about how this show's mood and tone has changed since season 1, I still find value in this show. I still find beauty in it. And I feel like there's a lot of intention and love that's poured into it. And I think that part of the reason why they shifted the energy of it is because it's the last season. At least that's my theory. You know, I wonder, like, do y'all think that this show would have changed this much if this weren't the last season? Like, do y'all think they would have kept it going with those, like, super gritty super real storylines and showing like ballroom and showing like the struggles and complications of like trans and queer lives? Do y'all think they were planning on making this kind of like fantasy love, happy-go-lucky fairy tale ending? Do you think? What do y'all think? I don't know, but I'm here for all of it. So we see Poppy and Beto. They're making pancakes, and of course, we knew that Poppy would be a bomb-ass father because he is literally the prototype in every single way. Like, kind, loving, fine as fuck, really generous, patient. They're making pancakes, and it's really cute. Ricky shows up, and it turns out that Ricky's going to be babysitting because Poppy's got errands to run. He's a single dad now. Thank God for your community, baby boy. And I really enjoy Ricky. Like, every time he's on screen, it's just like he's so handsome, and he's really brought a lot of like flavor and beauty to this character that I thought was going to be like a side character. He's really grown, and I'm glad that they gave us like a happy ending for Ricky, which is that he's going on tour with Janet Jackson. Sitting in a movie show, thinking nasty thoughts. So yeah, I would love to go on tour with Janet Jackson. Okay, even now in 2021, but definitely in 1994. So Poppy's like, yeah, you're staying at Blanca's. Is Angel over there? How's things going? Like, do you think she's gonna come back? And Ricky's like, you know how these women are. That's why I don't date them. I'm like, listen, Ricky, you're trying to say that women bring drama, but what about all that drama that Pray Tell brought you? What about all that drama that Damon brought you? Listen, relationships bring drama, whether it's with women or with men. Take it from someone who knows, okay? And happy Pride to all my LGBTQIA fam. Speaking of which, speaking of dating men and women, yeah, happy Pride to y'all. Celebrate the rainbow and enjoy your lives, y'all. Living your truth, whatever that is. Anywho, so now we have Ricky and Beto, who's like the cutest little boy. They're gonna watch cartoons while Poppy goes out to run errands. You know, he's like, listen, whether or not Angel's here, I'm raising this child. It is what it is. I'm committed, and I hope that she comes around. Ricky thinks that she will, and we know that she will, because what type of fool would let Poppy go? So we see that Angel and Blanca and Ricky, this is a flashback, maybe earlier that day, and Angel's like, I agreed to be married, not to be the mother of some other woman's child, right? She says it with so much conviction. And Blanca's like, listen, you have the ideal situation here. You're playing games and you're being silly, and you still have the ring on. So obviously, you still want to get married. And Angel's like thinking, and Ricky's like, listen, Poppy's the bomb. I don't know what you're talking about. You're playing games right now. So, you know, they tell her, you need to really think before you call this wedding off, because Poppy loves you, and, you know, you can do this. I understand why Angel's resistance, because being a mom is a lot of fucking work, but at the same time, they could do it. Like, I don't know. I'm an optimist, and I feel like they could do it. And if I was in Angel's situation, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. I would say we need to go to counseling, we need to go to therapy, let me read some mommy parenting books, let me talk to Blanca, let me talk to Electra about what it means to be a good mom. But I would have ran right back to him because, like I said, Poppy is the prototype. So Blanca and Angel are sitting there, and Angel goes to reach for the phone, and she's like, you better not call that wedding off, because at this point now Angel has the ring off. And she's like, no, I'm gonna call my father. And Blanca's like, oh, you still talk to your dad? And Angel's like, yeah. So this was a bit of a surprise because we haven't heard Angel mention anything about her parents. And I couldn't really tell if they had like kicked her out of the house or if she had left. But either way, it turns out that she's been giving her father money after all these years. Every once in a while, she sends him money to take care of him. So let me get this straight. Your child is a sex worker and you're taking the money that she's using from being a sex worker, but you're not accepting her for who she is. All right, so Papa's kind of trash, but it seems like he might come around. Like maybe if we had a whole nother season, we might get to see him come around. But in this specific episode, he's not. He's not doing it, right? Him and Angel go out to eat at this little place. She gives him an envelope with a thick stack of cash. That was a fat envelope, right? And he's looking at her and he's like, you know, you just look so different. Like, it's really hard to digest. It's hard to take. And she tells him, like, I came to tell you that I'm actually getting married. And I was thinking maybe you could walk me down the aisle. But I can see right now that that's not something that's going to happen. And he's like, how are you going to get married when you have an M on your ID? Like, they're not going to look past that. And she gets upset, and beautifully acted scene by India, like very subtle. She's like, you know what? I just realized all this time I have been wanting to, you know, seeking like love and affection, unconditional love from you. And I've already had that with this whole nother person, and I almost made the mistake of like messing that up. I'm out. So she leaves. She goes back home. Poppy and Beto, the cutest little boy, they're eating. They're having pancakes and strawberries, and Poppy is telling Beto, like, it's okay to cry. Just because you're a boy doesn't mean you're supposed to have feelings. Like, being strong doesn't mean, like, being tough or being abusive or being violent. Like, Poppy is so fucking emotionally intelligent. I just can't deal. Like, this character, can we just, like, make this character a real life person and then clone that person and just have them like propagate all over the universe? Because his knowledge around like gender and culture and communication is just like so on point. Like Janet Mock wrote the fuck out of Poppy's lines because all the shit he was saying are things that the world needs to hear. And Angel's kind of like sneaking in, and she puts down her purse. She's got this cute green two-piece outfit. She puts down her purse and she's like, you gotta listen to your father, Beto, because everything he's saying is on point. And Angel's like, oh, you know, just like talking, and Poppy's sitting there like, yes, she's back. And Angel says, like, I'm so sorry, will you forgive me? And Poppy's like, yeah, I'm getting confused because the real actor's name is Angel, who plays Poppy. So I'm like getting confused. But either way, they make up. Of course, the wedding is back on. And Beto offers her some pancakes. And they're like a happy little family sitting there eating pancakes and bacon and strawberries. And it's just so, so nice. So, yeah. So they've worked out. They've worked that out. They've made up. And yeah, oh, I wrote down like Angel's father is transphobic. Why is she continuing to give him money? She's trying to buy his love. Like, that part was kind of sad and possibly a little bit triggering. Like, there's nothing worse than being rejected by your parents, rejected by people who are supposed to love you unconditionally. Angel's mom has passed on. All she has is her dad, and he's not accepting her for who she is. And what, did he kick her out or did she leave? Yeah, I asked that already. But yeah, Angel comes back, they make up, and then she has a nightmare. She has a nightmare about going to the office to get the marriage certificate and people screaming fraud, 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 fraud. And that was an okay scene. Um, I mean, it's real, you know. It was a valid fear, because at this point in time, same-sex marriage, that even though they're not, even though they are a man and a woman, because their IDs say male male, that was not legal at this time. So it was a valid fear, and she's telling the girls, and I still would love a spin-off of these four women, Blanca, Lulu, Electra, and Angel, like a quartet type of show, like Living Single, or Waiting to Exhale the movie, or even like Run the World is on now, like these four women living in New York. I think that would make a really good show, a really good spin-off, and all these side characters. But anywho, she's telling them, like, I'm freaking out. Angel has done all the paperwork, but this whole thing with the marriage license, is it gonna work out? What should I do? And Lulu's like, just do a commitment ceremony. You don't need that piece of paper. That doesn't define who you are. And Electra's like, fuck that commitment ceremony bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Leave that for the homos getting married in community gardens. And the way Blanca looks at her, like, damn, girl. Like, Electra is rough with that tongue, okay? Abrasive and consistent. So wrong. So wrong. And she says, I'll have my mob fellas, my good fellas, make you an ID with an F. Fine. And she's like, yeah, that sounds great. And Blanca's like, no, 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 no. You don't want to start a marriage with false documents. Just go down there, hold your head up high, and walk in there. Like, you know, Lulu's like, you could pass with the best of us. And she's like, okay, fuck it. That's what I'll do. So they go down there, and the woman, it seems like the woman kind of like clocks her, but then she lets them get their certificate anyway. And people are like, oh, that's not realistic. But I think it is. I think it is. You know, first of all, Poppy was such a smooth talker, which is part of Poppy's charm, is that he could probably like talk the panties off of anybody. Hello. Poppy's a smooth talker. They talked about the fact that they have a son and they're going to Disneyland. Like, they really charmed this woman. They had that whole Dominican cultural connection. And she was just kind of like, whatever. She let them get their certificate. So it worked out. Beautiful. So then we're at the wedding. And Poppy is sitting there trying to come up with his vows. And in comes Ricky, Lamar, and Pray Tell. And they're like, what's going on? It's the big day. Boop, bloop, 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 bloop. And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to come up with these vows. I need something really good. And they're like, you're the one with the smooth silver tongue. You shouldn't have to worry about writing something good. And he's like, no, but this has to be extra, extra special. Like, I've raised the bar so high for myself. And Pray Tell's like, well, just, you know, do something different. And that's when they were giving us a clue as to what was coming up next. So, Poppy makes a toast to the fellas, and in walks Cubby, looking as crisp as a brand new $100 bill, baby. Cubby was looking fresh. I'm not a fan of the whole, like, bringing people back from the dead type of thing. From what I understand, that's something that Ryan Murphy really likes to do in his other shows. I'm not really familiar with his other shows, but it was nice to see that fashion on Cubby. Like, Cubby looked incredible. And so, you know, Poppy makes a toast, like, I love all of you, etc., etc. You've shown me, like, what being a man is. It's not about being tough. Like, y'all are the toughest men I know. Like, to love who you love and be who you are when the world tells you you're not supposed to love who you love and be who you are. Like, that is what real toughness is. That's what being a man is, or whatever. Whatever. It was cute. But, yeah. The thing I thought was interesting is that Damon was not mentioned one time, and Damon and Poppy were like brothers for 2 seasons, and no one said a word about Damon. I'm like, hello, y'all gonna try to act like Damon doesn't exist like at all? That was weird to me. Puppy hands out cigars, and then we go to the ladies, the bridal party. My girls are looking gorgeous in these white silk robes. Oh God, these women are so fucking gorgeous. Like, Lulu's hair was laid. Oh, Electra looks stunning. Like, they all look so beautiful. And they're talking, and I kind of wish that Angel's lipstick, the redness, this is really petty detail, but I wish that her lipstick matched all the pinks that we saw later on in the wedding, as opposed to being like that glossy red. But anywho, they give her something old, something borrowed, something new, something blue type of stuff. So we have the recipe book, which was supposed to go to Damon once again. It's like he didn't even exist. We have the something new, a beautiful white mink fur from Electra, the one thing that kept her warm. We have the something borrowed. Lulu gives her 30-day chip. It's nice to see that Lulu's being sober. Oh, by the way, this random scene with Lulu and Jerome, I guess, I don't know, it felt kind of rushed to me because, and I guess I can see that they want to give like all the characters closure. They don't want to leave anything hanging. So they want to let us know that Lulu is now clean and she's let Jerome go. So they squeezed in this scene where Electra has set her up in this cute apartment. She's kissing this picture of Candy. Jerome shows up. He's high. He doesn't have his suit for the wedding. She kicks him out, breaks the crack pipe. She takes her keys. She's like, my keys. And I want to see more from Haley as well. I think she's a really great actress, and I love how sassy she is. Yeah, I want to see more from Haley as well. But either way, they squeeze that in, and you know, it's nice to see that Lulu is on her way towards sobriety. So back to where we were. She gives Angel her chip, and they talk about she talks about how proud she is of her. And then the something blue, the hammer, Candy's hammer wrapped in blue ribbon. I'm like, okay. I really like this part because y'all might not know this. I might have said it in some of my other videos, but the whole like Candy thing, the whole thing about like Candy being like the violent one with the hammer, I don't know. Something about that kind of bothers me. But once again, we bring back someone from the dead. We don't mention one thing about Damon, who's alive, but we bring back Candy, Angelica Ross looks absolutely stunning in this lilac suit, beautiful hair, shimmery halter, shimmery earrings. She's playing the piano. Didn't know she could play the piano. And it's only Angel that sees her. And it turns out that Angel has survivor's guilt. Now, this is the one reason that I appreciated this scene, even though I really don't like the whole bringing back people from the dead thing, is revealing that Angel has survivor's guilt, because it's like she has not only survived being a sex worker, and she has not only survived like overcoming drug addiction, but she also has found true, deep, unconditional love. And she's somewhat of a success as a model. And considering what happens to other girls whose lives are like hers, as far as being like trans and of color and doing sex work, has survivor's guilt. And Candy's like, listen, you need to let that go. You deserve everything that you have, and you need to enjoy it, not just for yourself, but also for your family. So take this hammer and remember that a real woman, defends and protects what's hers. So I did like that part, you know, that idea of like being tough and having a weapon and all of that. But when she said to knock the little boy in the knees when he gets out of line, and you know how those Dominicans are, I didn't like that part that much. But anyway, she said it. So, you know, they say a little prayer. Blanca says a prayer. You know, Blanca is the goddess of words, so eloquent all the time. She always knows the right thing to say. And then it's wedding time, and it's beautiful. It's like a gorgeous ceremony, and it's my favorite shade of pink and white, and people are showing up. All the girls are showing up in their wedding gowns. Now, this is the thing, like when you have a bride, normally nobody else is supposed to wear a white dress. So I really like the fact that Angel was like, listen, all y'all get to wear white dresses today, because the idea is that, you know, when else are we going to get to walk down a runway as trans women? When are we going to get to do that again? Who knows if we're ever going to have the opportunity to do that. So I'm going to give all of my community a chance. So it shows her generosity. And we have the walking down the aisle with Ricky helping Pray Tell get there with his glasses on. We have Poppy walking down the aisle with Blanca. We have Electra looking stunning. We have Lulu looking stunning. We have Beto in a little white suit being the ring bearer, looking all cute. And then we have the bride. Please stand. And Angel's dress, I didn't like the top part of the dress. It felt like it wasn't fitting. Another petty detail. But I kind of like the roses and the fact that the roses opened up while she was standing there. They bloomed. She walked down the aisle. Poppy was looking at her the way you want your lover to look at you. And they exchanged their vows. Angel's vows are beautiful, eloquent, poetic, romantic, sweet, tears. Now it's time for Poppy to say his vows. And it sounds like he's reciting the lyrics to a song, I Swear, by the Backstreet Boys, which is a song that I'm not really a big fan of that song, but I guess the whole, like, the lyrics make sense for the occasion. And then he's like, I can't do this. And Angel's looking all nervous. India with the face acting, perfection. He puts it away. Ricky says, you got this. Poppy starts singing. Now, Poppy can't sing. Poppy can't sing. I don't know if Angel can sing in real life, but the character obviously cannot sing. Like, he was singing off key, and I guess that's part of what made it sweet and what made it beautiful. Ricky started singing backup. Ricky can sing. And so they sang I Swear, and then everybody else joined in, and it was really beautiful and really sweet and really romantic, and I swear. So yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. We see a couple of shots of Chris and Blanca sitting next to each other, looking very beautiful together. They have good chemistry. And I predicted wrong, because I actually thought that the wedding was going to be in the finale, but we might get another wedding in the finale, because I don't know. Those two were looking very cozy. Anywho, the wedding's done. They walk off. Electra gives Poppy the keys to a gorgeous convertible Mercedes. They drive off. Next thing we know, they're on the beach in Disneyland. They're going to Disneyland for the honeymoon. And Poppy's sitting there watching Beto and Angel building sandcastles on the beach. And this very, like, hetero white guy comes over and he's like, yeah, that's your family. And Poppy's like, yeah, that's my family. that's my family and beautiful family and isn't the best. Yeah, it's the best. So yeah, so is this about promoting the idea that, this is the ideal, like this is the goal? Marriage, family, like, are we kind of like uplifting this as something that we all need to aspire to? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, that's their happy ending, and some people do want that, and I respect that. But I just thought that was an interesting clip to end the show with. But either way, that's it. That's all that I have to say. I'll check my notes really quick. This video is way too long. But yeah. One more episode left, y'all. What do y'all think? Are you loving it? What do you think about the shift? Tell me. Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. And thank you for watching. Have a good day, y'all. Bye.